Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's LEC 2025 matchup.
Even though every lane is actually pushing right now. It's not the best situation for a jungler. He gets one of those scuttle crabs and he's not falling behind at the first early opportunity, but he's not bot lane now for a dive potentially.
Trying to shield the early dive. Nelio just turns up a little bit later, looking for the double grasping route. Alvaro takes a lot of turret aggro, but it doesn't matter. Super claims first blood.
BDS left alone under their tower. 113 went for a top scuttle and MKOI went to...
He is around, yeah, Hysteric's on the next cast, so there you go. Maybe it's just a premonition. Nuke hops across the Vel. Looks for a bit of a chunk and gets a solid one onto Jojo. All the while, 113 start up the Dragon, but Mewin and Elio coming over! Oh! 113 now slowed down. Nice move up from MKOI looking for the lane pressure, but here comes Alvaro from behind onto Nuke, who's going to go down. Jojo slides on in and claims the kill.
So don't be able to get out. Has the flash, has the ult. Doesn't get a chance to use either though. Walks up too far, loses his life.
Getting a second kill after is rough, and now we're looking at potential double shattering strike. Alvaro gets a huge moment, the Stranglethorns after, and BDS bot lane is being taken to the cleaners. 3 kills on this Kalista.
Every one of these
really?
It is. So says the screen in front of me. So whoever read that on there, I'm going to trust them. And yeah, I mean, it does unlock a reset composition. Can they get something here? He's in the middle of a fight.
Good chunk on Delioyo, who's very low, throws down the Stranglethorns, gets a big knock-up, trying to get away, doesn't quite have the flash. 1-for-1 right now, Paris shuffled away by Jojo, looking to get an auto or 2 more down, can't get to the blast cone. And Jojo picks up another nuke, desperately low to boot him. Saying he's supposed to be a side character. Mewin says, actually, I want an action sequence too. Super, summons the Fate's Call. Alvaro goes for a crash down on top of 2. 113 is around, teleports continue to fly as MKOI want to really force this, and a rend comes on out, and down goes Ice, melted in front of our eyes.
Oh, you can tell that's super
hard turret as well.
Yeah, 6 scrubs on Azir, who's pushing lanes, on Kalista, on the Cassandra is pushing as well. Yeah, the only way that gets worse is by having those 6 scrubs, and I don't know, it's raining as well or something. So just a little bit of extra misery. Really annoying that for the bot lane here, that the Kalista manages to stack up the lethal tempo stack so quickly, so early, and just keeps jumping forward. You can use so much of that mobility, and just completely shreds through Corki. First tower going over towards Jojo Pion on the Azir.
So yes, you've got good damage later on, but it's not like Movistar Koi are falling off a cliff come 25 minutes.
Yeah, so let's see if they can use some smoke and mirrors, catch someone out. But actually, if you're doing it in bot lane, I think they've been sniffed out just a bit. Movistar Koi really on it today. Everyone's going on to him.
Into the public execution. Alvaro's going to try and buy some time, but there's a shuffle to get Jojo out to safety. Stranglethorns comes down. Paris now in danger. They have to back away. There is a teleport. Super's here as well. Huge W as Mewin goes all out. 113 will claim Jojo finally, but I think the damage is done. Hang on. Flash away, double for 113. There's something coming back. Can look to steal another body. I don't think he's going to have quite enough to hop anymore. At least gets 2 back. It's a 2 for 2, all things said and done.
BDS were always going to look for that kind of play, catch someone away from the group, but Movistar Koi see it coming, and they do largely win out on it, and with the 6 scrubs, they get to capitalize on it too. Ice is pushing in the mid lane. He'll get something from that, at least for BDS, in terms of some tower plates, I suppose, in the mid lane. He's not going to be able to take the whole thing. It's a couple of kills down, and the resets, you can see the potential of the Viego if you get rolled.
113.
BDS, sadly, because they spent so much time contesting the Herald, they don't even have a chance to really do much about Dragon. They can't even do that now. The Herald's being put down into mid lane. I like what Movistar Koi are doing here. They say, well, we're going to take the Herald. We don't have to take the Dragon now. We can use the Herald to slam into mid lane, force BDS to just stay here. Well, they can't really do much about it. Dragon potentially sets up. You can see that Paris on a very long flank, actually. Has ult, has flash, might be able to do something.
Barra's going to board him out,
quite a long angle.
See, he's trying to make it out. Vision from our observers showing that Paris currently on a very deep flank. Irrelevant.
There's no plans on Super. If he does get if he gets the charm onto Super, things could be quite dangerous. But again, Movistar Koi have been really good at sniffing out the next play from BDS in this game so far. Not a bad angle from Paris. If you do push in very heavily on one lane, well, you beat that, you flank him, you go on their flanking angle, see if you can catch them out. Couldn't quite do so there. So Movistar Koi in this series of play, get the Herald, use that to push mid, go down towards the Dragon. They don't immediately rush towards the Dragon. I think that's a good thing for them. And BDS, they haven't really had much chance to cross up. They're teleporting now to a side lane, which to me feels a little bit late. They've not really managed to get anything away from the objectives that MKOI are starting to take.
Now we hit this point where you've got nearly a 3,000 gold lead individually for this Kalista, who will be finishing a second item very shortly. In fact, nearly the entirety of Movistar Koi will be finishing second item shortly, while BDS will be stuck at 1 for the foreseeable future, and that's going to hurt.
Oh, this feels a little bit like Tutorial League of Legends. 6 grubs, demolish on the tower, easy in a tower take. You can see that, of course, Nuke is pushing the top lane now, but because that teleport came out a little bit late, maybe they were afraid of getting engaged on before that teleport came out. Just a little bit slow to get towards that tower. Taking it down now, but not before a lot of damage is done. Super's backing for 2 items now. He's a 5-kill Kalista. God help us. BDS, yeah.
Finishes second out and buys half of the next one. Yeah, I mean, this guy is so strong.
One of the lesser-known terms in League, which I like. That's a problem. Riftmaker gives you the heals as well. The great thing about this build, by the way, fun fact, these items will affect his tower shots. So spell effects do affect that too. So if you watch that later in the game, maybe you'll see the burn applying afterwards. Either way, a bit more tanky makes it much harder to get the resets. Bit of a brush bait.
Nice bush bait. It's onto the backline. Super and Elioya caught out. Huge play from BDS. Can they finish the job though? As 113's gone in and not really got the reset they were looking for. Only find 1 for 1.
See, the 113 is currently off the vision. He's got a sweeper in that, but Alvaro doesn't quite manage to catch the Rune King. Instead, Elioya catches Paris over the wall too. Yikes, that's a lot of damage from the electrocute on the Zyra.
Go on towards the Atacans. Sticking it full of spears currently. Again, you are now into a position where even if you contest, it's not even with the Kalista end. And 113 caught out trying to find an angle to come in and see what's happening at Atakan and just dies. Now there's no smite contest at all.
And that's going to be a bit of an issue. So, Mobstar Koi, do they go straight back towards the Atakan? Yes, they do. You can see the hop, the skip, and the jump on the minimap of the Kalista, putting the spears into it. Ice is going to be able to take the mid lane out of turret, which is something for BDS. It'll give them an ability to put down wards into the enemy jungle if they can find a route in there. But Atakan taken for free.
Claimed, and now it's a 3v4 in the mid lane. The Mobstar Koi were very happy to take, and you can't really blame them at this point. The frontline plus in Azir does a lot of work, and Nuke forced to go between worlds and will hop to the other side of his arena briefly, but that's another ultimate down, and BDS, it feels like they just don't have anything left to try.
Well, Paris is currently off vision. He might try something here.
Tries to go in, and there's the public execution after they get a withdrawal, but then the turnaround begins to come on through. The Stranglethorns are there. Fate's Call used a double kill to Elioya, and they keep trading back. There's another withdrawal down at least, but that's not as easy as you want as Super. It's just untouched, so stuck, irrelevant, full of quite a few spears. And he'll back away to make sure he's out of range of the Rend.
Credit to Paris for looking for something. Ends up being a 2 for 2 with kills to withdrawals. So even then, it's tilted in favor of Mobstar Koi. They use the 6 scrubs to take down an inner turret, and the train just keeps on rolling forward. BDS, they are still, I mean, just look at all the gold leads down I mean, your carry rolls are behind in every single bit, and even at the top lane as well. You've got Mirwin, who's significantly far ahead of the Ambassador as well. Credit to Mirwin. His last couple of Ws forward to get that shunt into the Q3 have been very dangerous. BDS had to respect that an awful lot. Super center of this composition on the Kalista, getting another objective. They are currently one objective, that one dragon, which went over to BDS.
Yeah.
Allowed to have that special little feat for yourself. But yeah, with the Merc Treads, back to the serious part of it, but the Merc Treads does make him a little bit more defensible. Really trying to play around vision here on BDS, but his Nuke just caught out.
The killer bunny rabbit with the sharp pointy teeth is eating a holy hand grenade of Antioch this time around. Nuke is about to be nuked, you think, but actually managed to walk away. The Ambassador goes in, and Paris tried to buy some time. Look at Jojo on the flank, looking for an angle, gets a few with the Emperor's Divide. Descending from the North of Canada into Europe to find a few here in his first match in playoffs. All out goes Mirwin, and Irrelevant is just that in this game.
Looks like all the BDS caught some air miles there, either by shuffle or by all out through the wall. Mobstar Koi not caught out again. BDS have been resorting to the vision plays, and it just hasn't worked for them. It's going to be Baron started up by Mobstar Koi, and it's very likely going to be finished by them as well. Very clean game from Mobstar Koi here in game 1 against BDS.
They are 10,000 gold up. They're about to pick up a Baron, and BDS, it is a miracle or next game, I think, is all they've got left to work with.
They've sniffed it out pretty well. I mean, I'm not going to criticize BDS for trying. Like, once again, Barris is in a brush. They're doing the same thing over and over. It's got to work at some point, right?
Here goes Paris and 113 into the backline onto Jojo, who might be the target, but he's so damn tanky, he gets to slide away. You can't blame them for looking. There's just not enough in the back pockets. Their weapons are just rusted and not dangerous enough to get through all of the armor, all of the health, and all of the turnaround punches that Mobstar Koi keep throwing. They pick up a tier 2. They don't lose a member. And Irrelevant and 113 both fall.
How do you kill this Azir? Jojo Pyun makes it out. They don't get the resets again. It's going to be a kill to Super. Not a Nuke. Gets a kill there. The Kalista goes down. As Nuke does finally, as a treat, give them a bit of a kill back, which stops a death push coming in. For Movistar,
right corner of your screen, you will see that a Hex Dragon is spawning in 20 seconds, and that would be Soul for Movistar Koi if they can claim it, and at that point, if the game wasn't already over, it would be then.
Feels like you've said that a couple of times. BDS, can they find another pocket to play from? Nuke has teleport, could make his way down. Do they have any flanking wards? Look on the minimap. No. No, they don't. So that one's a little bit difficult. The bunny will have to hop their way towards the fight from a different angle, and now suddenly BDS, they are caught out against the wall again, and now Luke's have to teleport into the middle of the team.
Super flashes away as Paris desperately tries to find a quickness, doesn't quite find it. They lose Nuke, he's dead already, so is the top laner. Irrelevant now, 1-1-3, and Paris fleeing into Movistar Koi's jungle. There is nowhere you can run that you'll be not pinned to the ground by Super on this Kalista, who is using that Marshall poise to continue to hunt for this Viego, who's desperately trying to run away, but at this point, he's got a Yakety Sax in a dream. It doesn't really matter. The soul is significantly more important. He will get to reset, but that's all you can say, because Movistar Koi are shoving to break the base.
Nuke! The middle of the team is not a flank. That's not the ward you want. Flies into the middle of the team, has damage, but not able to use any of it.
Bar.
And with the 6 grubs as well, you get the support in the top lane able to shred through towers on their own. Super is left to do the dragon on his own. He's allowed to go out and have his own curfew now. The rest of the team will pick him up later. 2 inhibs down from 2 lane pushes, get a dragon and a Hexgate back out to the rest of their team. Movistar Koi, what a clean sweep.
Look, we were setting this up as an archetype of fast v slow, but then there's Mach 5 and not out of the starting gate, it feels like this time. BDS have been shell-shocked.
It really has ever been since that laning phase from that Kalista. I think it's got so difficult. Jojo! What a sweep.
Taken out by Jojo. Goes looking for another. 3-1-10 now.
Turns out you can't play the vision bait if you don't have an engager to sit there. You're dead. You can't look for that one again. And now with that pick, they might just look towards the Nexus itself. There's a teleport back to the turrets from Irrelevant, who sadly, I don't think I've ever mentioned him. Besides that, this game, he's not had anything to do. Movistar Koi moving towards the turrets. Looking to end the game. Movistar Koi hop on forwards, and BDS are going to throw one last gasp. But it is just their last breath before Movistar Koi put them out of their misery. It has been a shellacking. They have destroyed this game from the early tower dive, from the early 2v2 damage, and they've not looked back. Taking a fair amount of damage shoving through these turrets, though. They've got Hex Soul and a Dream, and the Nexus likely still falls. Movistar Koi going to play with their food a little before ending it all. Apathy for the series. First game of Fearless down. Movistar Koi, this was not close. BDS back to the drawing board. If there is any last-minute flexes coming through, they have to make their way through no man's land. All of that dangerous, dangerous ultimate artillery to throw it back at them. Look, if you're running, let's put in his head, will ward off too much more than that. Dragon's going to be started. Nuke's going to recall. He looks to teleport in. If they do want to fight, you can just leave elsewhere. They are walking up river, but are they going to do anything about it? I don't think so. Yoyo, what do you think about this? That's the Glacial Prison afterwards, and that means the Maokai going to be the target. Taken pretty low, but will turn around, look for a fight themselves. Massive ult into the W forwards, forces the ult away from Jojo. BDS have a really good combo with that Maokai, the Renata, and of course the Equalizer. Game stands pretty even right now. It may well not be after a few moments. 1-1-3 looking to step on forwards. It's brazen as brass, or I suppose a giant tree. Throws down the ultimate, and Nature's Advance gets so much value. Jojo dead to rights, and you can start bouncing around. Firefighter Tristana is setting more than she's turning off. Alvaro in danger as well, as put on the barbecue, courtesy of a great start to BDS, who are... do you want to be there? That's a bit difficult. Irrelevance here. Yone does have ult flash, but I don't think he's actually coming to help right now. Blocking him, and again, Dredgeline blocked, and Nautilus is not exactly fast. He's being slowed down and donated a kill. Irrelevant picks up a kill on the Rumble. A couple wards behind Dragon Pit, but that's about it. Dragon is spawning in 35 seconds, but BDS saying, look, you can have that. We want to play for this turret topside instead, and Jojo very alone up here, and it is very, very dark. Not for long, though, as the tree comes in and says, surprise garden party! And Jojo is down for the count. Really clean Maokai play from BDS. They play around this ultimate as soon as it's on the board. Movistar Koi don't know where it's coming from. They can fire from out of Fog of War, Equalizer to clear out the mid lane as well. Movistar Koi really don't know what to do about this ultimate off cooldown from 1-1-3, which is setting up his team so well. 1-1-3. Played a couple games of Maokai so far. The split 1-1, but this is looking like an additional W in that column. He's having a great game so far. You know what? This is a great time to talk about 1-1-3 as well. We're going to get some cross-mats coming in from Koi. 1-1-3, the last time I saw him in LEC, back in 2022 on Astralis, he really struggled. This guy came in after a great stint in the ERLs over on Carmine Core. He has leveled up so much in this split. A lot of people didn't necessarily believe in him. And honestly, after regular split, there's an argument between him and Nuke for being best player on his team. Got some teleports coming in from Nuke as they try and catch out Mirwin on the bot side. There might be a shuffle back from that ultimate. Choosing not to use it right now.
Beats himself up with the defiance. Oh, the flash read by Paris with the handshake, who flashed away from the Glacial Prison himself. Few summoners blown some health bars low, but it's still going to be Mirwin who needs to leave on short order.
And he's not going to be able to defend that. There's a Tristana with 4 grubs and the Varus being able to hit down on this turret too, really starting to take control of both sides of the map.
I should have said Leaf. There's a mount player in the game. What am I doing? There was a pun available and I didn't take it.
I'm disappointed. No, I'm not disappointed.
You'll
get him next time, Sam.
And everyone else hopes like, please don't get it next time.
Yes.
That would be great. Leave that one alone. Second turret picked up for BDS. They are in a
Lane Bully has the Malignance being a damage threat, and you can start to shield someone like the Yone to allow them a little bit extra time to go through. You can try and shield someone like the Ezreal to survive as well, and Sejuani all over the wall.
Glacial Prison onto the Maokai. Not the easiest target to take down, but will still likely be in a spot. Bother has to flash away, throws down the ult themselves, and there's the Equalizer after onto Super, who's rooted up on top of the fire. Just about surviving, but that's left the side laner out to dry. Mirwin goes down. Irrelevant flashes in to kill Super as well. Will surely fall out, but he's got a bailout. Can try and keep him alive. No, finally goes down, but Jojo is an additional price. Movistar Koi gets a kill finally. But it is not much of a silver lining here as the mid lane turret falls. It's just looking like the inverse of...
You probably want to do a lot of things with that. Yeah. You can see that might go towards Saras. That's an ult from Jojo, dodged out of by Nuke.
Ooh, good buster shot after. Now Jojo's in danger. The explosive charge just having flashes for a bit more, trying to get some more hops forward. Jojo with a solo kill. Mortal Steel is stronger than the Yordle.
Who cares about a gold lead? Yone does Yone things. Tristana goes down for their first death of the game. Jojo, not necessarily the easiest split for him so far. We had high expectations of him, but that one is definitely something which Movistar Koi would have wanted at this point in the game.
2 and 3 trying to come back on in. Does it against Nuke as well. It's a key person to take out.
This
that
is huge,
shutdown is big. They
Guys,
get
this is
something.
This is big, right? Because not just the tower going down here as well. If we look at everything else, that's allowed an extra couple of walls to come in on top side. It means that before this, BDS had a good lockdown on the top side of LCK, LPL, and elsewhere as well. You can either fight through this kind of path here, or you can try and fight up and down the river. It's kind of hard depending on what lanes you have pushed. If you don't have lanes push, which MKOI don't currently have right now, you kind of have to go through the Tri-Brush, which is very hard to do. Really want to do that. This is what I was saying, right? They could have gone through Tri-Brush. Instead, they now push out mid lane and try and go up the river instead. BDS kind of just saying, no, don't take the easy entrance. Go back through the Tri-Brush. It's better for us.
There's been a little bit of changes to Atakan, as it said, but obviously the fight about to start off over it.
Oh!
That Tri-Brush tries to be bought, but a huge true shot barrage. Gets a big chunk. The hostile takeover, though, is brutal in turn. And Nuke cuts off Alvaro, and they get back to that Atakan.
Both teams going a little bit too far, but that is why the setup for the Atakan around the Tri-Brush is so important.
Round 2, let's go. BDS right back to where they started off. Still got control of that Tri-Brush. Saplings in there. MKOI coming on over to try and fight this, but I think it might already be dead.
They don't have the big ultimates. They don't have the big ultimates, but there is going to be no chance of getting it. They arrive too late.
Alvaro flashes away, slowed down by that sapling, couldn't stick around anymore, and MKOI just too slow on the reset, and BDS burn it down before they can come and respond.
Oh, Movistar Koi been really shoved out of most of the objectives. That kill onto Nuke earlier, I thought that would make it a little bit easier to go towards the Atakan, and I suppose it did. They had a chance to go towards it, but BDS, they calmed down, they used the next round of ultimates. Now they have really good ability to force a fight like this.
W113 goes on him with the twisted advance. Mirwin will likely fall as the explosive charge on top of him. Bailout comes on top, and Nuku does get withdrawn. They get 2 as Jojo finds a good angle. Ice not here as it stands. Elyoya falls down as Paris and 113 finish the job there. Still strictly a 3v3. They'll get one more, but these withdrawals are getting swiftly whittled down. Jojo's picking most of them up, and BDS fumble the...
One of the carries is shorter. The question is, can they do that and the bailout without giving a kill through? BDS going to walk up, take themselves an inner turret here. They want to be strong on the bot side of the map for the dragon spawning just now, and they do just that. Walk up, take the tower, leave wards on your way back, go take the dragon.
We'll head back to this, and it feels like Movistar Koi just saying we'll play towards the other side of the map. Remember, Baron spawning in 3 odd seconds, and it is Movistar Koi with control of that part of the map. How bold are they feeling? They don't want to overforce, but they do have control there.
I was kind of sad that we've not... Have we seen a Ruinous Atakan in play yet?
I don't remember having seen one.
Yeah, I think there might have been
maybe
like a
that has been. I don't remember. Production, if you know, tell us, and then we'll tell everyone else. But for now, I'm just going to confidently say no.
No, you don't have to tell us. It's not relevant now. We've passed it anyway. BDS gonna walk forwards. 1-3 losing a lot of his HP, but he's a tanky tree.
Sap magic and unending despair. He does not care at all. Nuke gets a kill. Super being slowed down by the Electro Harpoon. Cleanses and it just doesn't matter. He's burning out, down to about 5% HP as the Fate Seal goes wide. And Jojo now left up in the mid lane will force Relevant to go golden. Mantra Q will not come on through. The Soul Flare is the upgraded Q ability from Karma. Not going to be used. Then they head straight back over towards the Baron. The man advantage is currently BDS's.
So a lot of tools used. Mobstar Koi, they don't really have anything left to retake the pit here. BDS, they can tank this up for forever with the Maokai. They are teleporting, but there aren't that many tools left. Nuke jumping out.
True Shot Barrage in a Dream can look for an angle on in here. Jojo unbind the soul, finds an angle, looks for Q1, unbinds the soul, can look for a big angle on in. 1-1-3 bite, tied though. Baylor comes on the Irrelevant is dead. BDS now in danger as they're split apart. Nuke needs to reset, does have TP, can't quite have it happen as 1-1-3 split off from the team. Sap Magic healing is decent, but not enough. And now this is giving Mobstar Koi a moment where BDS are split apart to look towards the Baron. They're also low, one reset does come on through. Teleport now back from Nuke. 3v5. BDS are going to have to try and play this one out as MKOI aren't exactly high HP either. Where is this one going? Alvaro looks for the hook, lands it onto Paris. Perhaps not the easiest target, but a big knocker for Jojo. Baylor comes on through and Paris likely dies. Survives by rebounding his soldiers. Jojo, Ice trying to trade this one out, gets one back potentially. Does get one, but he's on top of the Soul Flare. The Mobstar Koi against all odds find themselves an ace into BDS.
Insanely played from Mobstar Koi, given what tools were available. There was a Mantra Q in there from Mirwin.
Deliver into all 5 members. Back to Baron though, and Mobstar Koi couldn't take it in the break.
Yeah, and remember this time they actually have their ultimates. The Maokai goes in again.
Gold lead has been shrunk, but it's still very much BDS favor. Now Elioya is the one who's being caught out. The Sejuani is roast pork. Pick that one up. The depth charge comes on through. Hostile takeover onto Super. Just eat away from Paris. Bailed out, but will fall. Not enough money to bring that business back from the brink. Alvaro hooks on in and will swiftly regret it. Double hop this time as Mirwin is taken down by Nuke. Super goes over the wall, but it's Buster shot out. Jojo looks for an angle. Has unbound the soul. Equalizer keeps Super pinned into that choke point, but will not take them low. BDS win the fight.
Members present and accounted for.
Away again, it feels like the Baron has been the death of both teams so far. Mid lane tier 1, now an attack from Mobstar Koi. Elioya spotted out by the control ward as they're trying to prevent easy access to the turret from BDS. It looks like that mid tier 1 finally falls. Minions finish the job as Mirwin and Jojo shove that in.
So, Mobstar Koi in a much better scenario than I thought they would be after that early game, honestly. They've managed to fight their way back, despite BDS locking down a lot of the map pretty well. A lot of this game is really just being ruled by this Maokai though. 1-1-3 just going forwards time after time. Very, very tanky with how many Heartsteel? A lot of Heartsteel stacks. Yep, that'll help. 342 so far. No, that's Sejuani's got much less. Jojo going forwards though. That is not as tanky to the Yone with the Infinity Edge.
Get a big chunk onto 1-1-3 with the Glacier Prison lands. Going to be onto Paris who throws down the Locket Shield, the hostile takeover, and Nature's Grasp burned.
That's a lot of tools used. That is an awful lot of tools used. You need to use them so effectively for BDS. They throw out a lot of that big line space-denying tools, and now Mobstar Koi say, okay, that's a lot of that gone. Let's go towards the Baron ourselves. BDS realize, okay, there's not much we can do about this. Baron at half HP, and I think they might have to give up the approach.
Baron going to be starting taken down. No way in for BDS, and now Mobstar Koi turn for the fight. Fate sealed used. Going to be Jojo locked up though and taken out just shy. And it's his own fate that ends up being sealed. Mirwin now in danger, being run down by the Rumble, and Nuke who can hop over the wall. Both solo laners from Mobstar Koi might be the penance they pay for taking the Baron. Minions starting to do a lot of work. They're trying to make sure that this Karma, who can run real fast with Defiance, may get an execute. I don't know. There's not been a lot of damage on it so far. Trying to reset. Baron powered recall, not enough. Nuke hops forward and gets the kill.
Oh, the game of hide and seek cut short. BDS somehow managed to catch out Jojo. Jojo whiffs another ultimate, even with that big Infinity Edge. Just goes straight into the back of BDS. That does mean Dragon goes to BDS. Mobstar Koi will have the Baron buff on 3 members. Mirwin and Jojo are not going to have them. We'll see what they can do with that while it lasts. The Rill is really nice, especially if you're trying to play towards some of those slower retreats. And of course, it's the raw penetration from that Ezreal. Really, really nasty. Irrelevant, feeling a bit of the sting of that one.
GA just completed for Jojo. Teleports back in. 1-1-3 goes very deep. Immediately throws down Nature's Grasp to get something down. Big chunk back. Jojo finally hits it all, but is immediately burned out. Gets a huge chunk back. 1-1-3 burning out with the bailout. The GA prevents his reset. Hostile takeover comes across, but look who's been picked off. It's Nuke. He's eviscerated. Jojo kills his man.
The bomb Bomb's been disarmed, the Tristana hits the ground, and Movistar Koi might just have been able to play the slow game well enough to walk forwards for at least an inhibitor. 40 seconds on the Tristana is enough for them to take control of the map, but not enough to end the game. This has put them into the gold lead though. They've managed to puzzle their way out from BDS around the objectives. They take a fight around the mid lane, and that GA from Jojo makes a huge difference.
Jojo survives with the GA, prevents a reset with bailout, and then finds his person. We've been criticizing him for not hitting his ults. Finds some key ones there. Is currently soloing the Dragon irrelevant. Finds a lot of people, but actually, the rest of BDS coming over to try and play this, but suddenly they're all being caught out! Movistar going collapse at BDS! What was the decision making there? Ice in a 1v3 won't get anyone with him, he tries. And the respawns will come on through for Newcomb 1-1-3, but it's a trade for the rest of the team.
BDS try and sneak their way towards the Dragon, but all they find is doom. Dragon goes over to Movistar Koi. It's not Soul, but it's so many kills on top of it that BDS are really going to struggle to move outside their base now. Just immediately after these fights have happened, red wards have started to litter their entire side of the map. It's been a much slower game. It's been much harder to play out from Movistar Koi because BDS had a great foothold and a great composition to deny areas of the map. They go from Dragon, they go over towards Baron, and with the death time is still pretty high from BDS, they can't fight this. The best they can look for is a steal. Ice not on the map, they'll have to let it go. Don't want to lose another death for nothing.
Second Baron coming on through, and BDS were up 5,000 gold. Blink and you miss it. It's now 3,000 gold to Movistar Koi. They've got Soul Point, they've got it.
Like that. Movistar Koi get the fresh Baron buff on their backs, start pushing in towards towers.
The map gets a lot smaller suddenly for BDS. They've been shoving forward all game, not so much anymore. And MKOI, with a Karma at 4 items as well, really makes it difficult to get damage onto the Ezreal, who's got this huge AP and power shields at this point. Alvaro, though, going to be the target, hit with the Chains of Corruption, immediately taken out. Nuke Ice, though, get blasted by a Mantra Q. Jojo on the backside. Bailout on Ice will not be enough, and they just get 3! Karma for 2. Jojo and Super help with the rest. Alioya will step on forward with an Arctic Assault and get another. Nuke's got to try and pull off something. And there is just nothing to be found. He digs deep and the well is dry. Movistar Koi made to work for it in game 2. But work hard they do, and it will be a 2-0 to the Spanish Org.
The 2-0, 1 domination, 1 they have.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's LEC 2025 matchup.
I gotta put my mouth here, but Linces, he's putting his money in the right place in the bot lane gank where Kalist and Targamas are looking for their last minion, but he puts up the emote. Kalist, will he have to flash away is the next question. Hilly then turns to Targamas, gets behind him, flash away with a step. Hilly stepped too far up, and Kalist styles him for first. And Dagda, I'm just wondering how bot comes into it as well, because Kalist and Targamas have constant push in this lane after that 3v3, 3v2.
Yeah,
KC doing pretty well.
The problem is, so Linces is trying to get down to the bot lane, but he's already got by in the way.
Hilly steps up when Kagutsa blows are on, but they're going to all in instead. But Kalist just rends him a second time. With Winter's Bite, Kuz in trouble, but he flashes outside the Vault Breaker. It looks flashy, but he won't get anything done. Linces sneaks in, but he's got his boys behind him, so Kalist will be safe and sound, snug as a bug, as Linces goes down without a simple tug. 4 kills here for KC. And Vitality are bleeding. Is that available if they choose to contest here, depending how long this takes?
No, I think they just kind of give this up. Said look for kind of reset, get yourselves into a position where you can look for maybe dives or other shenanigans essentially on the map after this one, because you can see there, they know it's going down. But in this position, Linces needs to go back into his bot side jungle, clear that out, reset himself.
It would require a flash that he does not have anymore, as Chayak is going to get bot back a little bit here, and Chayak, speaking of flashes, already burnt, he's dead. One more, Winter's Bite, the sidestepping the fear, and he's alive. Meanwhile, the all-out in top spells trouble here for Kana, as he has to just roll on out. He lacerates a couple of times. Nuck needs to flip back. There's the public execution, a bit of a turn. Whoopsie daisy as Kana flashes, but it's dead anyway. Whoever lands it deals it a Nuck. Shortens the goal by a little bit. KC, however, already had the 6 grubs, and while that is a great solo kill, Dagda, outside of a bit of plating, Dragon sacking now also going to be stopped for Vitality, and Bot's in real danger here of enabling a dive. There's a Glacial Fissure down. A good fear from Chayak as ulti for Targamas doesn't really do too much. But do KC continue as they think about it a little bit more? The shifting sands in. Yike is now in as well. Cease and desist on top of this Waze. Chayak is running for his life, just trying to get a bit of movement speed. He gets shielding, but again, it's not enough. Vladdy also cleans up the after effect, which is Hillisang. So again, KC keep rolling ahead.
Nice play by KC, because the entire top side of KC's jungle was being stolen by Linces. So Yike getting that play on bot is actually pretty huge for them to try and even out the trade. And now, I mean, even turret plate's going down. It feels like Vitality, every time they kind of get one thing going their way, something else just falls apart.
And Dacta, look at this now. Two things are falling apart because no one's here for the turret. They're overwhelmed. Nucker's going to slowly receive the wave, but look at top. This Ambessa does not have a lane partner right now, so KC are also going to get first turret blood. They just got the stinky feet before. 4.5k gold. Is Kana going to get turret top as well? Vitality are dizzy.
I mean, Chayak, he's not going to be there in time. It's gone.
They're dizzy.
KC look insane.
Yeah. Who would have imagined from Shanghai to Berlin?
It's a very weird journey.
Yes. Well, like around half the world in 5 years.
It's a weird journey here.
Storm, it is indeed. Kalista's caught out. The flash engage is great from Vitality. They might even find another with Yike having to flash Vault Breaker. They need...
Well, let's see if their quack is as big as their bite, because KC now is taking up River here. But Dragon's about to come through.
I don't think. About to find out. The poker's there. Targamas takes a little speaky speak from the Dragon. That's how he shares his words and wisdom. Targamas off the back end is looking at Kana here, Dagda.
Yeah, see, nobody really wants to try and come through this choke point, because you can see, like, Vladdy's very capable of just setting up his soldiers in this area, but if you actually walk in as well, Hillisang can get that great ultimate, so you got to be very, very careful, which is why you're seeing KC just try and poke in that area, even using that flank opportunity to set up for the Ambessa to come through onto this top side. So you have Vitality, like, they need to get vision down, but KC just aren't letting them, and now they've got to back away. Great use of the terrain there by KC to deny Vitality access.
And now after taking the Dragon as well, they can walk on up and start threatening this mid lane play, because Vitality have moved right into the center of it, enabling a flushes here wall from Vladdy. Chayak in a lot of trouble, and yes, he spirals, he despairs as Linces cyclones in, but Vitality are down a member. It's now about the disengages. Yike also dies. I pause, I hold my breath, because I'm looking at Kalista bring back the play. It's render clock for at least one as Nucker's next up. He flashes away, but will not be speared to death. 3 versus 3 left alive.
The problem for KC was just the tower still stands. They will be able to take it now, but Naka wants to stick around. Lince is coming in.
Fate's Call under turret as well. The turret is low, but they're not targeting it yet. Kana needs to step on up and use the power of the grubs. Yes, they do. Now the target truly there is the top laner. Kana taking it up for Winter's Bite, sets up concussive blows, but no, a clone to bait out.
Searing Bolt, I think it's called damage, to make sure that you can actually finish him off and just only let AD damage survive.
I don't know what a Searing Bolt is. Is that what?
Severing Bolt. Severing Bolt. Isn't it
like
QW?
QW? Yeah. I like Searing as well. Sounds like Red Hot Sun. As spears are in the outer Khan, it starts off. Hilly has now spotted this out. Vitality, their angle comes with Linces, but no flash available. Teleport in as well, as we're right off the hot topic, right into the frying pan. Teleport from KC as well. Vladdy's already taken a bit of damage, but the stolen! Linces just yoinked it! Great as zero ulti though, disengages because KC knows this fight is getting rough, but Atakan for the debuff is a withdrawal. Okay. 4 members of Vitality have themselves a whirling GA that they're going to push in, and under this turret, care less and less about it. You know what to expect. Onto Linces, kind of finds him, gets some good damage down. He has a red buff though, so healing's going to come through, but Yike sets up the play onto Chayak. He has cease and desists, but into the back, he has to take an Omega Blast Cone. Vitality have taken some damage in the process here, and now Yike has no ulti. That's the trade-off.
But Vitality kind of just get to play this slow now. You've got Targamas kind of panic ulting there to keep Yike safe. So that's 2 of your engage tools down. It has to be Vladdy and Kana now who set this fight up. Again, this choke point is vital for both sides.
How do you punish a flash? You ignore it and you go for a Cyclone instead, but onto the clone. The public execution needs to go private as Hilly is tanking up and dead to a rend. Meanwhile, this is here is firing onto the Cassante. As we said, the one person that's going to blow him through with damage is Vladdy. The kill goes over to Kalista, and KC still remain in firm control.
3 members of Vitality stay standing. The poke is still relatively good. Chayek lending himself to that. KC going to fall back over towards the Dragon. I think Vitality just need to back away.
It's going to be Soul Point. And just about a 5k gold lead yet again we've returned. Baron is on the menu, but it's only a la carte. It's not in the degustation. So unfortunately, hold for the push and throw. Vladdy's in a side wave right now as well, getting that inner turret pressure. So for Vitality, the call is either start, send someone back, or just get that vision tug and move back yourself.
But that's the thing, right? As you start to send yourself back, Vladdy can just drift across, meet up, and go straight towards that Baron, which is going to force the TP from Naknako, who's just reset. So at this stage, I mean, actually he gets the tower, but all that KC are trying to do is get these summoners spell.
It's an apology mode for sure. Well, I heard it in my ear, but I didn't hear it at the same time. Never mind. Dragon in 40 seconds. Would you like to know what happens then? Then it's Soul for KC. But it would be Chemtech Soul. It means that the fighting ability gets that extra 13% of damage reduction as well. And they're below 50 as Targamas sidesteps onto Hilly. He might have to crash down, but Targamas still walking in. Glacial Fish is fantastic. Lines up the back. The public execution does the same. And into it, Vitality go. Or rather, KC. They ran too deep, but no! Vladdy sucks the blood dry as KC have had enough of waiting around. That shuffle was legendary.
It's not a plane, it's a bloody bird that's flying into the back line. Vladdy, Superman, the hero that KC needed, will close out game number 1 with a beautiful ultimate.
He was sick and tired of this going on. And KC, this is going to be a game to remember as well. Things seem slow until they weren't as game 1 goes over to Coming Core. After Vitality tried so hard to keep it going for as long as they could. To Dagda. This time around, Kazi and Hilly won't have that same firepower, but Kalista and Targamas definitely will.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of my attention's going to be. This, I assume, is going to be an on-hit Varus, very little backline.
Early levels, so his health bar right now feeling good. Naknako not opting in for a back. Instead, opting in to stay as a potential dive is now revisiting.
Kana is so close, though. If he can get a couple of autos on the minions, maybe he can try and hit that Mega Gnar, but it's too far away.
You're right. We'll wait and see. Waiting for the flash. Mega Gnar bar is building up. He's getting some autos down. He flashes. He hops, but under turret. Hilly is going to draw. Kana outplays it, and he's about to go Mega. There is nothing Vitality can do here. Even if he's zoned off, he might be able to jump back in as Naknako, meanwhile, backs away, but a dredge line reaches from outer space. A good dodge away from the piercing arrow, but KC have zoned while Kana still thinks about going back in.
Kana's just trying to use that boomerang to get the Mega Gnar. Has the hop now available. We'll get back to the tower. He's getting the CS. He's getting the experience. Whereas, look at bot side. Naknako's been completely taken away. Targamas going to try and keep him at bay. Yike in the background.
Hilly's going to try and help out. Targamas, though, gets him for a root, and all it will take is a dredge line, and Naknako's already jumped away. He leapt, he's rooted, he flashes, he's ignited, and he's about to be dead. KC on both sides of the map are obviously more. He's going to poke his little head in. A lot of people at home saying, wait, is he changing lanes? But no, Kana's just moving towards Dragon. Thanks, Fedius. He's level 6, and all it takes Mega Gnar. Flash over the wall. Ambitious from Vladdy. It's a match flash from Linces, but for the Dragon Smite, will it be worth it? Hero's entrance denied on the ground. Kana still gets it done, but no Mega Gnar in the end. A shutdown because he got 2 kills there. 9 minutes in. I mean, yeah, those second grubs, those are the contests. But Yike has ulti here, and with ulti flash from Kana, I don't think Naknako has a chance. Locked up. The only reason he's breathing as he flashes away was because of Counter-Strike. But that's a different game. A different
opposite side. So Targamas, goodbye, my friend. There's very little you can do here.
Lonely Big Daddy is Targamas. He's halfway to level 6. Won't have the depth charge to buy, but maybe too tanky to dive up as well. Dagda's going, hang on a minute, there's a Galio coming in. Vitality knows dredge line still hooks, but into a mini.
That was why Vitality backed off. You can see Vladdy had immediately dipped from the mid lane, and this is why we was talking about that timing window that they had to try and play around.
6.
And now Vladdy is just going to be able to keep the side lane safe. Kana just got the bot lane turret, so he's fine. And the counter punch isn't there because of the Justice Punch from Vladdy.
And again, as that turret goes down, which by the way is huge. I mean, Targamas is going to try and interrupt. Hillisang goes into ulti, but Chains of Corruption, the flash. Vitality's bottom lane, the second time they tried to recall. And Dagda, I just feel like that maybe that's greedy.
It was a good sidestep from Targamas. So Hilly came out of the bush, hoping to catch him with the quickness, and then immediately dashed back onto Karzi. But because he missed it...
Chaos Storm's out though, and We talk about misses, but we talk about deliveries as Chayak with the Chaos Storm. He didn't need to flash, but at least he secures the kill.
Yeah, big play from Chayak. It was much needed to get something back on the map. But still, KC, you can hear the crowd. They're pretty happy with the way this top side is going for them right now. Danny going to move over towards the objective. 10 seconds now. Oh my god, wait, Yike stole that over the wall.
Did he? How? Dagda, 4 grubs for KC, 2 for Vitality, and or rather only 1. Targma sets up with the dredge line, and yet again, depth charge.
Oh my god!
In the wild growth! You're not escaping, Hilly, you're going nowhere. Counter-strike to bring it back, but Kana to bring it in. KC's combo. Objective control. Its level 6 is unbelievably stupid because the burst, with all the plans getting attack speed as well, is just unbelievable at one item. Like, when is Zyra weak? First 3 levels? Then when? 4? Level 4 maybe?
No, she's pretty alright.
She's kinda, yeah. Oh, flash away. Training Corruption already burned down, and this is an opportunity for Vitality. They've gotten Kalist. Targmas as well, running with his life as the Wild Growth once again is out. Yike has set up the Strangle Thorns, and Hilly is just taking autos from a plant. Imagine dying to a bush as Hilly again rooted up. Apology hurts.
Self-save. Targmas now trying to see if he can pull the wave across, allow the next one to conga line its way through, but it is a little dangerous. Karzi's missing off the map, now starting to move back mid, so yeah, Chayak will get the reset. Cost him his ult, but didn't cost his life.
So the wave will just crash on in. Yike will do a lot of AP conversion to this turret, and remember again, 5 grubs in the end for KC. So this turret is as well as gone. This gold lead is as well as past 4K. And I hate to say it, but for Vitality, they've once again, 2 games in a row, have been outclassed in the early game.
Which is like surprising, because the first time these two teams faced off, it was Vitality that very much controlled it.
Way around.
And I think it's Vitality at times, the Galio and this Gnar, the threat to always push in on mid wave as well. And if you ever try and overextend, as Vitality are about to now, Vladdy might have to come in.
On the hunt being used, there's the ulti as well from Kalist. Flashes away to get out of range. Permafrost sets him up as well, but it's a re-engage from Vladdy setting with the shielded around a zone. Dredge line at max range, roots in as the bottom lane of Vitality, just trying to kite back, but Kana won't let them as the roots from downtown hits. It's thanks to Yike. This teleport's drawn in from Chayak. He wants a part of this fight, but the fight's already done. Kana ready to leap in yet again with his whirlwind of Gnar. But he doesn't need to.
See, Vitality are just trying to defend the jungle camps rather than actually defend the Rift Herald. They know they just don't have a chance. Yes, their cooldowns for the ultimates come up a little bit quicker, but KC have already taken it before they can get to that position. And it looks like Hilly is abandoned.
Someone will die.
I do think, though, at least at the moment, Vitality have a bit of a reset advantage here. You can see an item and a half versus kind of the 1 items across the board. So Vitality at the moment are stronger. Kind of doesn't have the play. So instead of KC going for the dragon, they're just trying to force the play on mid.
They are indeed. I mean, they've flashed with the ulti as well. But after the Glacial Prison, Kalist now comes out. And it's a living nightmare for Vitality running through. It's good, though. Naknako found an angle. KC have lost their bot lane. And an opening presents itself. I set 1 snare, but there wasn't enough to ensnare Vitality from all those angles.
Brilliant timing window from Vitality. They went for the earlier resets on both Chayak and towards Naknako. They complete that half item, but also no Kana doesn't have a TP to match. So Naknako is able to teleport into the play. And though that tower's about to fall, Karzi needs to be very careful. Targmas ends up tanking up, so we'll back away, but Ping's now on towards the dragon. KC want to make sure they can continue the stacking in their favor.
So let's come back to it. Vitality are scaling. And a Victor with 2 items getting there. A Siva now just picking up 2 items. Kazi is getting there. Navori quick plays picked up, so his W is off cooldown on reset. So a lot more wave clear added into the kit. And there's not much difference between AD carries, Dagdo.
No, it's the AD carries are kind of even, but the big one that my attention's drawn to is Chayak. Like, he has been getting a lot more farm because Vladdy has been pulled in to try and help out on these ultimates quite a lot. And as long as you're able to play towards Chayak, which is what Vitality are trying to do, you're causing that disparity on the goal.
This Avatar just trying to find a pick, as you said. That Gnar now has push in a turret under threat, so KC are playing the map better again here as Hilly looks in deep.
Vitality are just trying to start it. They're trying to draw KC and get that TP from Kana. Kana has just turned Mega Gnar, so this is a moment where Vitality could fight and be up against the Mini Gnar, but they're going to trade Terra for Terra. It's a tier 1 for a tier 2. KC are happy, and Kana is getting the opportunity.
It's like running Vitality thin throughout the map. What's the decision? If you do something, it's going to cost you something else. in very simple terms in both Game 1 and Game 2. The trades have always really been better. As On the Hunt is going to show us where it stops right there. Kalisz still gets slowed here by the permafrost, but he sends out the Chains of Corruption and starts fighting back. Kalisz now with Lethal Templates. Vitality fought without all members there yet. The teleports took too long. You can see into the back. Kazi's just run on in. He takes a while to die, but eventually does. As for KC, this fight is still going bad. Vitality frontline are still taking a while to die. And Carter now next on the Targamas again. Nako brings it in as Chayek's lead is showing us what's scaling. All again. Chayek is now 2,000 gold up, almost third item with these Leandries. We're getting a third item for Kazi soon as well. There's a lot to shout about here as Vitality have their ults back up and available shortly with Chayek and Nako lining up too.
Yeah, Adakana started to try and get that TP. Nako disappears. There's the wave and bot that he could TP to and flank entirely onto this.
Getting low, it's a Justice Punch, so Vitality forced out as a flash. Targamas looks for the engage, but Chayek is just burning down the engage all of KC. A Meganar ult would be great, but the Stranglethorns does nothing. Look at Chayek again. A Chaos Storm to get bigger and bigger, and yes, Ardakan.
Nako following up behind. As long as you can try and continue this, you're going to be in a good spot, but there's the reset.
Kazi's going to get depth charge though, and there's going to be a follow-up, and KC know it. Chains of Corruption fly through, but Kazi has got his support in the way, or rather, Jungler. Lensis will die for him. Kazi was caught, and it was a really good angle from KC that give them a numbers advantage for Baron.
Yeah, Hilly had just reset. I don't know if he reset on vision or how KC knew, but Targamas with a fantastic flank, and now the Baron has started. Chayek is here, but no jungler. Can Vitality win this 4v5?
Level 16 as Dredge Line has missed. Level 16 on the Victor is my point. Kazi wants to just auto away. The quickness in, a hero's entrance, a fly in. It's defensive, but it's not good enough. The Chaos Storm is now massive as they might not find the steal, but they'll find the fight. In the end, it goes over to KC, but Chayek, who went in melee, still wants to fight with Kalisz, but Kazi will take that any day. Kana jumps in. Top lane v top lane is all we've got left, and Kana will get spun on while Nako closes the deal.
Revenge is a dish best. Yike has moved out of the pit. They can't follow. Kana actually isn't really threatening on towards Karzi, and the Baron is doing so much work in that fight.
And now we come back to live, and although a lot was burned as teleport comes on in, we're gonna fight over the Dragon at 3k, 2k. Vitality think about their angle. Vladdy can't zone with shielded Duran, but the Dragon's already gone. But Vitality have this right side to play with. They've got the inside track for mid as well, and all they need is an ult to land. KC zoned away, Mega Blast Cone to get them away. Vitality now trying to get this inner turret at the back end of the play.
But Vitality can go for either mid, or they can go for this bottom side as well. So KC, they're being pulled thin across the map.
Right.
Kana,
he jumped on a Meganar. Nako just jumped on a Meganar. He jumped on a Meganar, but he goes golden. He had a plan. Chains Corruption also thrown out in the choke. That found Targamas. The Chaos Storm as well will get bigger. It encircles, it stuns, it electrocutes everything in its path. Kalisz, Vladdy both hurt. It's a good zoning tool, but Vitality is there. The wave clear is still there from Vitality as KC try and hit from the right-hand side. It's all about this Dragon that will be their soul. That's what they're playing for now. Vitality might have the inside track, but they're going to be precariously slow and smart-witted moving into this jungle.
TP coming through from Nako. They want to desperately contest for this. Yes, Vladdy is separated, but he doesn't really care. He's got that ultimate to come through, and that's all he really wants. So KC playing for Dragon. They've got their wave clear set up.
Kazi's by himself for the time being. Kana with a Mega Narbar that is slowly growing. A Boomerang to throw out. He's now in the yellow. Okay. Vitality, no, this is about to be a Mega Gnar. An Arctic Assault from Lensis. A flank. Kazi still isolated. KC looking for him. Depth charge. Kazi's dead. Left from the team. Chayek, now the hope is Vitality, are dying, dropping one by one. The ants are getting smaller. KC with 5 members. That Dragon is theirs.
And under the magnifying glass, it's Vitality that are cracking. It's KC who are holding firm. And just like that now, wait, TP, yeah, he's just going top. They've given it up. It's Soul for KC and a hard-fought fight, but KC just set it up so much better. They find the flank onto Karzi, and with no flash, he is so vulnerable.
Vladdy just bought his time. Nako is waiting outside of the lens. I think he finds himself. Might have been spotted in the end to make a blast cone there to launch him in, but he's now definitely spotted. Dredge line as well. Nucko, blast cone taken. He's in front of 4 members and Vitality. It's all falling apart. He tries to find Kalis's. Nucko, it was a noble attempt, but the Nas slow. Mega blast cone again, an auto. So it's crazy how the margins matter, not only in this game, but in League of Legends. We again group up. Baron's still there. Dragon, 4 minutes 30 till the Elder. Get that out of your mind for now. It does feel like everything is hinging on the purple side of this map.
But it's 4 items across the board for the Vitality carries. The scaling is there. You can see the damage that Nucko can do if he can get onto Kalis and KC. They start up the objective. Killy is only starting to move in. They can run this through very quickly.
They really can, and Nucko will be on a minion wave. He leap strikes, he gets in range, but at 7k, 6k, it's going down fast. Kalis is going to keep autoing away. A Glacial Fisher, Prison sent on up. Dredge line into the chain of Nest. The hero's entrance is a 5-man. Vladdy stuns them up. Kana sends them in, and KC send Vitality packing.
Wait, Chayak
is big onto Kalis. He's getting autoed. He'll die. A triple over to Chayak, but Kana will make short work of that. Yike and his top laner stay up. So Baron sits on
tools for these immobile carries to keep themselves safe, and we saw what happens when Karzi falls. Chayak isn't able to just be a one-man army in these fights. So for KC, that is now the new target. Try and finish off Karzi while he's still vulnerable. Look for that Elder. And the fact that you have this Red Bull Baron power play for another minute at least gives you the opportunity to take more of these turrets, push Vitality into their base, and keep them away from these key objectives.
That pressure being applied thanks to the Baron as well. Vladdy going to do the same here, but wave clear, at least a specialty of Chayak here. Yike is coming in, looking to zone off. You notice Karzi before, every single ricochet is doing a lot of damage here. Look at Yike. Those are a couple of ricochets. 3 hits. Yike almost down to half HP from 1/4. Sorry, 3/4, if I could do my math properly. That's a full item Zyra just about now, apart from the control wars, by the way. 5,000 is the lead for Yike. Controlling this game, as you'll see, as the dredge line comes in, and Yike's damage will be seen. Shielded ran, everything in. Karzi's knocked out, knocked back, sent away, but he's alive for now. He needs to ricochet, he needs to fight, he needs to hit. As Karzi sends out a boomerang, his auto attacks need to connect, but KC have once again found Hilly. It's 5 versus 4. It's health bars in disarray. It's KC chasing and chasing, but not finding anyone else. Health bar's still low. Teleport's only available for Chayak.
Vladdy immediately TPs down into the bottom side of the map. He just wants to push in the wave. 7 seconds until Elder Dragon. The cleanse is about to come back up for Karzi, but so many tools were used.
I think they've got Elder Dagda, I think, unless a miracle still from Linces, right?
Will come in. They need to try and pull it out. Vision is everywhere. Kana playing Bouncer, Vladdy in the same boat. But they haven't seen where the Sejuani is yet.
They're trying to get this red buff as quickly as possible to heal up. Linces will have a bit more moving power, but Kana is in Mega Gnar now, so they're going to burst it down, but taunted out against the wall. KC have found their opening. Karzi stretch lined in though, but will he die? He does not. Elder, no steal. Smite is greater than Chaos Ray as KC walk away with the burning. More survivability, more shielding, more healing.
All summoners back up as well on the side of Vitality, so a lot less vulnerable. And Kana, to start that fight off, actually missed the wallop on towards Karzi thanks to the movement speed as well from the ultimate. So even when you get onto him, it's not that easy. Now KC immediately going to start this up. This is what they're trading. That Elder Dragon buff is about to wear off.
Yeah.
So they use it for the Baron. Vitality will give. But how much can they get? You can see the push on bottom side from Nucko.
Enhanced Baron recall. Nucko, why did we go golden here? I mean, it's only Sonya's. Yeah, must have been. Turret goes down, objective bounty, but KC have the Baron push. And maybe they thought on the side of Vitality, top's going anyway. Let's let the inhib go. We've got a Siffer. Karzi's going to step up, look for the play. As you said, Elder's down in 15.
They're still trying to hold on. Vitality are trying to wait this one out, but KC, they're done with waiting. They want to end this right here.
They want to try with the last remnants of the Elder. They push in. Chains of Corruption set on up, but playing on the outskirts, Vitality are using that time. 2, 1, and now it's down. No Elder. Nucko will not be dead for an execution today as Vitality chase up. Kana doesn't have a Mega Gnar bar to play with. KC have to leave and make the game go a little bit longer.
Hilly's still chasing though. You can see they're waiting for the TP.
No pressure to the base of Vitality. He's got a stride breaker. His wave clear's big. So once he deals with that wave, he might look for a TP in as Vitality now defend against the Baron up bot wave at 44 minutes in that KC are trying to open up yet another angle. They do it mid as well. Teleport going to be burned. Chayak zones off, but the turret is dead. Thank you again to Hullbreaker as KC have another avenue of attack. 2 members sit mid. Two-sit bot, Yike in between. Vitality under fire from multiple fronts again.
KC been doing a good job of clearing that vision behind the Balinsis goes.
They pick a side, but it misses. Linsis misses as the quickness is set up, but it's right into the tangling arms of Yike. Hilly jumps into the back line, but it's all for naught. Nucko sent up, sent packing, sent away. Kana over. KC are in the base again. They'll find a knock-up. He'll find a flash, but who is finding what here? Hilly not dead. One more auto. Kazi steps up, but a Meganar flushed away. Kazi! The mechanical skill shown again as Kalist into the base. Nucko spins, wins a little bit, and a grin. Kalist running away. He's got a GA, but Targamas does not. Kazi with that flash, I think saved the game, Dagda.
Safe, but again, the fact that you have this Chemtech Dragon is kind of doing work for KC in these sorts of scenarios.
Feels like Vitality have now found new life, and it feels like Vitality have found a new angle. Smite to get rid of the shield. Yike is stunned up. In goes the Sejuani. The hero's entrance will find his mark as well. Yike has done the same job, though. Yike is big as Kazi's dead. Kalista's taking him out. The Victor, though, the Chaos Storm won't expand with the GA. The Vitality are all dead, Dagda.
KC immediately go bot. Kana wants to look for the end. They just need to stop Choyak, and Targamas is doing that.
The AoE was enough. It all came together, and Yike's lead felt like it made the difference. Kana teleports in, and as long as Vitality held out as much as we wanted in Game 3, Carmine Core will still find their way to the Nexus. A delayed back in the middle of your screen, or at least the middle of the map. And Carmine Core had to really work for this 2-0 in playoffs.
There's a grin on Yike's face, but they